Good evening. Just checking everything's online, and it looks like it is. So, I'm a minute early, so I won't just start yet. I'll just check a couple of other things in the right place. Ooh, so I hope everybody's sitting comfortably tonight. We're going to do a guided exercise that will require some comfortable sitting and some soft breath hold work. So if you can just make sure you're comfortable, that will help later on. Okay, so we're on time now, so we're started. So hopefully there's a few of you out there live, or a few people watching tomorrow. And in fact, the rest of the week is fine. We're going to leave these up for a while. So you can see behind me, still behind me is Evel Knievel. And I would really like to know if some of you looked out the Last of the Gladiators film about Evel Knievel. That would really make me smile if any of you watched that documentary. I don't think it's on Netflix, but I'm sure you can find it somewhere. So today it's Wednesday, I believe, and we've got some interesting things to go through, leading on from yesterday and moving forwards. So let's have a quick look at our board that we have. So let's have a look. We have looked at meaningful practice, failure, challenge, feedback. Now, challenge and failure I talked about extensively over the last few sessions, and there's no challenge if you can't fail. So challenge and failure is there's quite a lot of links between them. And then after failure and challenge, we looked at feedback. So when you've done something and you've failed, it's imperative that you feedback honestly and really think about what you could do better before you challenge again. So you kind of repeat the exercise time and time again, and that's where you get the feedback from. And feedback's pointless unless you're honest about it. And tonight we're going to go down here to luck. Okay. Now, my a very good friend, best friend mine, Ian, who always says that if he had a superpower, it would be to be lucky. And I've taken that on. I quite often say, if you're going to be anything, be lucky. I usually say it just after we've stumbled across an amazing dive site like Seal Island. Incidentally, we are still looking good for Free Fest because it's in July the 16th, 17th, something like that. And personally, this is not backed up by any sort of government information, but I feel the lockdown will be over, and we'll be able to go to that. At the moment, if you can sign up, but if you sign up, you don't need to pay any deposit for it. Just so we've got some ideas of numbers. So if you fancy come along to Cornwall for a week of camping and freediving in July, you can sign up. Anyway, this is beside the point. So luck. Now, there's been many tests done and studies done, and the more successful, especially business people are, the more successful they are, the less they credit luck. So you talk to a famous actor, and the more famous they are, they tend to credit luck less. Tom Cruise isn't the best actor in the world, but the lucky situations he found himself in his early career allowed him to get famous. And there's hundreds of actors in Hollywood, etc., etc., waiting on tables. They're not necessarily good, they're not necessarily bad, but they're probably missing that luck. Okay? So it's super important. And the more successful people are, especially in business, they tend to credit luck less and less. So it's super important for us to go back to our honesty and really appreciate what we have and how that kind of responds to the situation and the luck involved in that. The fact that you are watching this video is insanely lucky. Out of the hundreds of thousands of people who are able to freedive, and the thousands of people in the UK who are able to freedive, you have stumbled across this stream, whether you're a club member, or whether someone's told you about it, or you've just accidentally found it. This is a certain amount of luck that you've kind of got this. And then moving away, the fact that you are interested in freediving, there's a path of events that got you to that point, and it's all luck. The fact that you've got time to do it in your life, it's luck. And going forwards, you have, if you get to go somewhere nice, or if you get to go in the water at all, we're extremely lucky to have the opportunity to go diving in Raisbury with friends, especially if you're NoTanx member and you turn up on a Raisbury Lake day and there's 10, 20, 30 other people there, and you've got to embrace that. It's very difficult sometimes to acknowledge these sort of things. Sometimes you want, I just wanted a one-to-one with Marcus, or I just wanted to dive with my friends, 2 or 3 of them. But actually, if you step back, you're incredibly lucky to have 20 people there. So make the most of those occasions, because you can always go diving the next week with just your friends. So just an example of appreciating the luck that you have to get you to a certain place. And that's different from what people sometimes perceive as luck. Another fantastic quote from Ian again about photography, when people say, your photography is really good, that shot you got, you're so lucky. And he says, it took me 20 years to become that lucky. Kind of, the more you do something, the luckier you get. That's not true. You just get better at it. And yes, sometimes there is a little bit of luck involved in the end product, but the luck wasn't the end product. It was a lot of hard work that got you there. So you've got to be aware of where the luck fits in with your training and where it's actually skill that fits in. So you've got to be careful not to attribute your successes to luck 100%, but you've got to acknowledge that there was a certain amount of luck in there. Okay, so that's one of our 10 key points that we've going through, that I use to discuss coaching and how people can progress. I'm going to also talk about NoTanx. So hang on a sec, let me just untangle my legs. I'm sitting here doing my stretching, my hip opening stretching while I'm talking to you. Now I just want to show you my t-shirt. So I doubt any of you will recognize that t-shirt, that logo. Have you seen him? But I would urge that after you've seen Last of the Gladiators, the documentary about Evel Knievel, that you seek out a film called The Search for Animal Chin. Now, this is the film that actually, is it quite sad to acknowledge, to not acknowledge, to admit that pretty much every single NoTanx trip, every single NoTanx idea is based on the ideas that came from that film, The Search for Animal Chin. It's a skating video, and I warn you now, you have to work hard to get your way through it. It's not a good film at all, but it inspired me, so that's why I mention it. And I've got the t-shirt. Last year I was very happy to see that in the shop, but it inspired me that it's the journey, not the destination. And we've really got to be aware of that all those sessions with our friends in the pool are what it's all about. The sessions, the availability of people to chat to, the fact that you can ask me questions now. This is the fun bit. This is the fun bit. And if this stuff that we're practicing and training ends up with us going to an amazing location, so be it. But it's the journey that we should enjoy. So, Animal Chin, it's a skating video from the 80s, and it's the inspiration for pretty much everything we do. Anyway, I digress slightly. The NoTanx aspect that I would like to talk about tonight is technique and methods. So I've been talking a lot over the last few days about internalization of our skills. So you learn a new skill and you've got to internalize it. You've got to get it so it's second nature, so you can be efficient at it. And there are some things that we need to they're methods, we call them methods, which aren't necessarily freediving. It's not like finning, it's not like equalization. These are things that we need to do on top of that. So a really good example would be competition diving, where you have to come up and do a surface protocol, and it's really worth us practicing that. If you want to do competition, it's worth practicing the surface protocol, and practice it a lot. You can practice it a lot, get it second nature, so it's already there. If you're doing something like dynamic, doing the turns, it's a method, it's a very specific skill, and you need to practice it a lot to make it efficient, to get it as second nature. And moving that away from competition, you've got photography. So it's really super important to get your camera out and play with it, and get second nature, so you know where the buttons are, you know which buttons you're going to be using. So I have my camera to hand all times, and I play with it, and I use it with the lens that I've got for the underwater housing. Okay, because I'm really interested in taking photographs of wildlife, dry wildlife, but so I haven't got a telephoto lens, but I've got this lens that is the one I want to use underwater, and as soon as we go on trips, I want to know my camera inside out. Okay? So these are the methods that we need to practice outside the freediving, like the actual skills of freediving, finning, equalizing. So that's turns at the bottom of a rope, camera work, or methods for competition. And it's a very good principle to start writing them down in your diary. That you clearly you have a training diary. If you haven't got a training diary, then, well, you haven't heard me say it enough. So I'll say it again: get a training diary and just make a list of the skills that you feel, or the methods, the techniques that you need to have. Whether you've got them or not, just make a note of them, because they'll always have a knock on the next, and the next skill, the next skill, the next skill. And tomorrow I'm going to be talking about dark water diving, and just glancing over some of the skills that we use in dark water diving. Yeah, so that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. And again, it's worth making a list, especially if you are interested in doing things like dark water diving, or extreme location diving. Start working towards them. Start, especially in lockdown, you can look up things, you can think about things, you can practice things at home that you've never done before. Just buying a harness, or and practicing your knots, etc., etc. You can do that now, so that when we're out lockdown, you can really start making a progress towards some dark water diving if you know what you need to do. Again, I'm here for questions. If you're interested in extreme location diving, dark water diving, message me, and I can give you a list of things that you can start looking at or thinking about. So we've done the key points. So we've done luck, which is a key point of all training. You've got to be aware of luck, but you don't attribute your hard work 100% to luck, but you've got to appreciate that luck was in there. And the NoTanx aspect, we were looking at techniques, method, and again, if you're interested in, well, obviously you are interested in freediving, else you wouldn't be watching this stream. Make a list of what you would like to do, where you'd like to go, and what skills you need to do it. And if you don't know what skills you need to do, I'm here. You just message me through Facebook, and I'll give you a nice list of things that you can be working on or looking towards. Okay, so the guided exercise tonight is going to be minute holds. So this is what I said earlier. If you want to be nice and comfortable, you want to sit up nice and straight, and eyes closed, eyes gently closed, and just start breathing softly. Now I'm going to say to you now to put your mind back a few days, where I was talking about whether you like visualizing things externally or internally, or if you like distraction internal or external. And if you like external distraction, then you should close your eyes, because that would be internal distraction. If you like external distraction, close your eyes, have internal distraction, because that's the tough one. If you like internal distraction, open your eyes, because that's the tough one. Okay? Train the ones that you're not particularly good at. Okay? Don't forget which ones you like, and sometimes you've had a hard day at work and you oh man, I'd like to do some meditation, but I don't really want to do internal meditation. Then do external if that's the one you like, but be aware of which you're choosing and why you're choosing it. But tonight I'm asking you to train, so I'm asking you to do the one you don't like. Internal, external, that's fine. So minute holds, super simple. Beautiful warm up for things like competition. We're going to do it for maybe 8-9 minutes, okay? And that's a fair time to do it. But you can do it for 6 minutes, you can do it for 11 minutes. So if you've got a competition where you have got a specific amount of time, but it might be interrupted by somebody coming and saying, hey, you've got to move over here, you've got to put the lanyard on, have you got a computer, where's your mask? They might ask you questions. This is an exercise which can be interrupted, and you can go straight back into it. Equally well, if they suddenly say, okay, competition's delayed by 2 minutes, fine, do another 2 minutes of this exercise. Okay, they're very simple. You hold your breath for 1 minute, then 3 candle blows, another minute hold, 3 candle blows, another minute hold, 3 candle blows. Super simple. Okay. If you find that easy, okay, then start doing it empty lung. Start doing it emptier and empty lung. If you're still finding it easier, you can do 2 minutes holds. It's very simple. You follow the same timing as everybody else. When I say everybody else, obviously I'm going to be doing it for everybody else tonight. But if you're on at home, just do 2 minutes on your own. That's fine. 2 minutes, 3 candle blows. 2 minutes, 3 candle blows. Fine. If you find a minute hard, whether it's just a one-off or you always find it hard, that's fine. Start breathing when you feel the urge to breathe. Don't challenge, but don't stress. So challenge yourself a little bit, and then when you start breathing, keep one ear open for when I say 5 seconds to go, or breathe, and you can go, okay, yeah, no, I can probably do that. All right. Don't stretch for the next one, but know that actually it's only a few seconds away. All right. So find your level and challenge yourself, but don't stress yourself. Okay, so eyes closed or eyes open, whichever you fancy. And I'm going to start going through. The first hold won't be a minute long. It will be shorter than a minute, just to get you into the flow of it. So sit back, try and keep your spine straight, chin tucked in, crown the highest point of the head, nice soft breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Nice, soft, controlled breathing. Remember, the breath is a silken thread with which we control the entire body. We will be doing breath holds, so you're welcome to do 5 in and 10 out, although realistically we're doing a set of breath holds, so it won't be that advantageous to do the 5-10, except for the fact that that's what we usually do, and that's kind of what we're going to be used to, so you can do 5 in, 10 out. Try not to have a stop at the pause at the top of the breath or the bottom of the breath. Just change the direction of the breath. Breathe deep into the diaphragm. And be aware of how you're moving, squeezing the diaphragm to get the last of the air out. Let's say the first hold's coming up, it's not going to be a minute. So breathe out, breathe out, breathe out, and 3 candle blows. Deep soft breath in, and hold. Let the shoulders soften, let the elbows be heavy. Sink into the breath hold. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out, and 3 candle blows. Deep soft breath in, and hold. Allow the shoulders to soften, elbows to be heavy. Really allow the skin on the face to soften, the jaw to be relaxed, the lips holding the mouth closed. And as the jaw relaxes, the shoulders can relax just a little bit more. And candle blows in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out, and 3 candle blows. And a deep soft breath in. And hold. Remember, if they're easy, you don't have to do a full inhalation. You can do a nice soft inhalation. Allow the elbows to be heavy, shoulders softening. Allow your jaw to drop just a little bit and your head to move forwards just a little bit. Candle blows in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out, nice and soft and controlled. And 3 candle blows. Deep soft breath in. Try not to take as full breath as you did last time. Allow the jaw to soften. And a space to appear between the temples. And the skin on the face is softening. Blowing the candles in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 candle blows. Deep soft breath in and hold. We're going to do 2 more holds after this. Soften the jaw, soften the face. Allow the shoulders to soften, elbows heavy. If you've got your eyes closed, just slowly open your eyes just a little bit. Keep your breath hold there. And just stare at the screen. Just do the last 2 holds with your eyes open, just to see what the difference is. And with candle blows in 3, 2, 1. Candle blows. This is a penultimate hold. 3 candle blows, and deep breath in and hold. Drop the shoulders, elbows heavy. Just gazing through half shut eyelids at the images. Blowing the candles in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blow the candles. This is the last breath hold. Keep gently staring at the screen. Deep breath in and hold. And just gently close your eyes again. Everybody closing your eyes. Let your head hang. We're going to finish in 10 seconds. So eyes closed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. Recovery breaths. Keeping your eyes closed. Breathe. And one more. Keep your eyes closed. Just be aware of where you are and how you feel. Slowly rub your hands together in front of you till you feel warmth in your palms. Cover your hands over your eyes. Open your eyes gently. Taking in one bit of information at once. time till you bring yourself back to the here and now. So that was a minute holds. I hope you enjoyed them. Had some video footage there from Marsa last year. Obviously Marsa this year is not happening, but hopefully it will happen again next year. So that was just the footage that I was using. Thanks to the models, we had Kiri in there and Jnr. So today we went through a luck. We talked about luck. We talked about technique and methods. Had a little thought about where NoTanx has come from. The idea of the journey being the fun bit and making sure you enjoy the journey, not only the destination but the journey. And then we had minute holds, and the homework is to look up, if you've got time and you want to watch it, you can watch it, the search for animal chin. And again, very simple breath hold work I'd like you to do before tomorrow. Hopefully you did pippin walks yesterday or today because of yesterday. So I want you to try and integrate two of the walking exercises we've done so far. So that's visual walks or pippin walks. And tomorrow we're going to be looking at zany walks. Now zany walks are very interesting because they fit in exactly with the conditional hooks, which allow the dive reflexes to come in. So yes, that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. We're going to be looking at zany walks. Okay, so thank you very much, and hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.